26 assassination attempts, dozens of betrayals, one man who refused to die. This is the untold story of Ibrahim Traoré. Copyright, the soldier who walked through fire, bullets, and death itself to free his country from the chains of foreign control. For 7 long years, the world watched Burkina Faso drown in chaos, but one soldier decided to fight back. This is not just a story of war, it's a story of destiny, sacrifice, and survival. Chapter 1. The soldier WHO saw too much. A0:46 at 3 o'clock. Before the world knew his name, Ibrahim Traoré. Copyright was just another young officer, loyal, disciplined, and silent. Born in the heart of Burkina Faso, Traoré. Copyright grew up surrounded by stories of colonial exploitation and African heroes who never lived to see freedom. He joined the army not for glory, but for justice. But inside the military, he saw something that broke him: foreign interference, corruption, and betrayal. While his people suffered from poverty and terrorism, politicians were selling out the country piece by piece. In 2018, Traoré. Copyright witnessed the first warning sign. A convoy of soldiers was ambushed in the north, but when the survivors returned, their reports were ignored. Someone, somewhere, wanted the chaos to continue. That night, Ibrahim made a silent promise: greater than if no one will stand for Burkina Faso, a broken bar I will. He had no idea that this promise would turn him into a target for 7 deadly years. Chapter 2. The first attempt. A3:01 at 6 o'clock. The first assassination attempt came quietly. A convoy carrying Captain Traoré. Copyright to a military base was rerouted at the last minute. Moments later, the road ahead exploded. A remote bomb meant for him. He survived barely, and that's when he realized someone high up wanted him gone. When he investigated, he found links to both local warlords and foreign contractors. They were terrified of a soldier who couldn't be bought. That was the first of many attempts, but it taught him the golden rule of survival: greater than never move the same way twice. From that day, he stopped sleeping in the same place, used decoys, and built a small inner circle of soldiers who would rather die than betray him. Chapter 3. The 7-year storm. A6:01 at 10 o'clock. Between 2018 and 2025, Traoré. Copyright life became a war within a war. He faced 26 recorded assassination attempts, by bullets, bombs, poison, and betrayal, each one deadlier than the last. Attempt number 4. A sniper shot missed him by 2 inches during a northern border patrol. Attempt number 9. His car was sabotaged before a meeting in Ouagadougou. It exploded 10 minutes after he stepped out. Attempt number 15. A friendly officer handed him a drink laced with poison, but a medic noticed the color difference. Attempt number 22. Rebels raided his command post at midnight, only to find he had already relocated hours earlier. Every time, he survived, not by luck, but by instinct. He began to realize something darker. Greater than these weren't random attacks. They were part of a bigger plan to erase anyone who stood against foreign interests in Africa. The same forces that drained gold, oil, and uranium from Africa, a broken bar, were now hunting the soldier who dared to stop them. Chapter 4. The betrayal inside. A10:01 at 1400 hours. By 2021, Traoré. Copyright had risen in rank, respected by soldiers, feared by traitors. But that made him even more dangerous to the elites. One night, while briefing his men, a message arrived: greater than they know your location, leave now. The message came from a junior soldier, later found dead. That night, a drone strike hit the area he was supposed to be in. The government denied any knowledge, but Traoré. Copyright knew better. He had seen the contracts at the foreign advisors who operated training programs that doubled as surveillance operations. He was being hunted not only by rebels but by those who wore the same uniform as him. Still, he refused to run. Greater than if they want to kill me, they'll have to face me in my own land. That night, he made a decision that would change Burkina Faso forever. Chapter 5. The coup that shook Africa. A14:01 at 1800 hours. In 2022, The Burkinabé tilde copyright people had reached their breaking point. Terrorist attacks were rising, villages were burning. The government blamed unknown forces, but Traoré tilde copyright had seen enough. He knew who was pulling the strings, and he decided to act. In a lightning-fast move, Traoré tilde copyright led a group of loyal soldiers to take control of the capital. No bloodbath, no foreign help, just courage. When he appeared on television, calm, composed, wearing his signature red beret, the nation held its breath. He declared, "Greater than the era of submission is over. Burkina Faso will rise free, proud, and sovereign." The crowd erupted, but behind the scenes, the death threats multiplied. Assassins now came not only from within Africa but from beyond the continent. Chapter 6, The 26th Attempt, 18:01 2200 hours. They say a man only truly lives once he's seen death up close. By the 26th attempt, Traoré tilde copyright had seen it too many times. In late 2024, an operation was launched to eliminate him completely. A convoy of the vehicles supposedly carrying humanitarian aid entered the outskirts of Ouagadougou. Hidden among them were foreign mercenaries, armed with silencers and night vision scopes. But Traoré tilde copyright's intelligence network was faster. When they arrived, his men were waiting. The attackers were surrounded and captured. Among them were people who didn't even speak the local language. Documents recovered from their vehicles revealed detailed plans, blueprints of Traoré tilde copyright's residence, his daily routes, even his food suppliers. It was the largest assassination plot ever uncovered in Burkina Faso's modern history, and he survived again. Chapter 7, The Legend of the Survivor, 8:22:01 26 hours 0 minutes. After the 26th attempt, Ibrahim Traoré tilde copyright became more than a president. He became a symbol. To the people, he was proof that courage can outlive fear. To his enemies, he was the one they could never kill. He began strengthening ties with neighboring African nations, Mali, Niger, Guinea, building an alliance of sovereignty and resource independence. Together, they stood against decades of exploitation, and the world began to notice. Even those who once doubted him started to whisper, "Greater than maybe Africa's finally waking up." But Traoré tilde copyright never saw himself as a hero. He still lived simply, often visiting soldiers on the front lines, eating with them, laughing with them, reminding them, greater than the true victory is not survival, it's freedom. Chapter 8, The Message to the World, 26:01 29 hours 0 minutes. In his speeches, Traoré tilde copyright never spoke with hate. He spoke with purpose. He said, "Greater than they can try to kill me 26 times, 100 times, but they cannot kill an idea whose time has come. The time for African freedom is now." Those words echoed across the continent. In the villages of Burkina Faso, people painted murals of him. In the streets of Bamako and Niamey, children wore shirts with his name. He became a symbol not just of survival but of hope. Every bullet that missed him became another reason for his people to believe. Ending 8:29:01 30 hours 0 minutes. Cinematic fade out with slow, hopeful music. Narrator: They tried 26 times a broken bar and failed every single one. Because some men are not born to be destroyed, they're born to awaken nations. This is the story of Ibrahim Traoré tilde copyright, the soldier who faced death 26 times a broken bar and lived to give his people life. @currency outro. For YouTube voiceover. If you believe Africa deserves leaders who can't be bought or broken, share this story because the world needs to know that freedom always fights back. After the 26th attempt, the world expected Ibrahim Traoré tilde copyright to hide behind walls of steel and silence. But instead, he did something no one predicted. He walked into the streets without a vest, greeting the people who had been praying for his life. That moment became legendary. Cameras captured a leader surrounded not by bodyguards but by farmers, women, and children shouting, "Greater than we are all Traoré tilde copyright." But deep down, Ibrahim knew the storm was not over. Each day brought a new plot, an invisible war fought not with guns alone but with propaganda, sanctions, and deception. He had survived bullets. Now he had to survive politics. Chapter 10, The Invisible Assassins. 34 hours 1 minute a 38 hours 0 minutes. Traoré copyright soon realized that assassination was no longer only physical, it was psychological. Anonymous letters claimed his own generals were plotting against him. Foreign media outlets painted him as a dictator. His image was under attack. The goal was simple: turn the people against the one man they trusted. He refused to play their game. Instead, he turned to the people directly. He spoke on national radio every week: greater than they want you to fear me, because they fear what we can be together. The more they attacked him, the stronger he became. The world watched as Burkina Faso slowly transformed from a land of fear to a fortress of hope. Chapter 11, The Blood Oath. 38 hours 1 minute a 42 hours 0 minutes. Every great movement has a moment of truth. For Traoré copyright, it came in the summer of 2025. A meeting was held deep in the Sahel, away from cameras and foreign eyes. There, leaders from Mali, Niger, and Guinea gathered. They called it the Alliance of Freedom. One by one, they stood before the Burkinabé copyright flag and placed their hands on their hearts. Greater than if one of us falls, the others will rise. It was not just a political promise, it was a blood oath. That night, Traoré copyright looked at the stars above the desert and said quietly, greater than Africa's awakening. He knew they had crossed a line, there was no turning back now. Chapter 12, The Foreign Pressure. 42 hours 1 minute a 46 hours 0 minutes. What happens when a small nation refuses to bow? It faces the weight of the world. Within months, Burkina Faso was hit with trade blocks, media campaigns, and attempts to freeze foreign aid. But instead of breaking, Traoré copyright turned inward. He mobilized farmers to grow more local crops. He reinvested gold profits into schools and energy projects. He asked his people, greater than can we live without begging? The answer came in a roar from the crowd, greater than yes, we can. The country began building its own path, and suddenly, foreign influence started to lose its grip. Chapter 13, The Mother of All Attacks. 46 hours 1 minute a 50 hours 0 minutes. One morning, a drone was spotted above the presidential compound. No markings, no signal. Moments later, explosions ripped through the southern wing. It was the 27th attempt, and the closest they ever came. 3 soldiers died protecting him. Traoré copyright himself was injured by flying glass. Instead of hiding, he appeared on national TV hours later, a blood still on his sleeve. Greater than they can bomb our buildings, but they cannot bomb our spirit. The speech went viral across Africa. Millions shared his words, calling him the man who refused to die. Chapter 14, The Shadows of the Past. 50 hours 1 minute a 54 hours 0 minutes. With every attack survived, Traoré copyright grew more respected but also more haunted. He visited the families of soldiers who had died for him. He sat with their children, handing them medals and saying, greater than your father did not die protecting me. He died protecting Burkina Faso. Those moments broke him and built him at the same time. At night, he would stand alone in the courtyard of the palace, watching the stars. Every light in the sky reminded him of a soul lost for freedom. He once told a journalist, greater than I carried 26 ghosts on my back, but they pushed me forward, not down. Chapter 15, The New African Dawn. 54 hours 1 minute a 57 hours 0 minutes. By 2026, the ripple effect of Traoré copyright as resistance was spreading. Nations began to rethink their alliances. Young Africans used his story as a battle cry for self-reliance. Documentaries, songs, and murals celebrated his journey not as a president, but as a symbol of defiance. In a speech to students in Ouagadougou University, he said, greater than they call me a survivor, but the truth is I am just a mirror of your strength. If you stand, Burkina stands. The crowd erupted. Tears rolled down faces, not of sorrow, but of belief. Chapter 16, The Legacy of Courage. 57 hours 1 minute a 59 hours 0 minutes. In history, some men are remembered for what they built, others for what they endured. Ibrahim Traoré copyright is remembered for both. He built a nation out of ashes. He endured 26 attempts to erase him and still chose to forgive. In a rare interview, when asked what kept him alive, he smiled and said, greater than faith in a promise to my mother that no matter what they do to me, I will never betray my people. That sentence alone was worth more than 1,000 speeches. Chapter 17, The Fire That Never Dies. 59 hours 1 minute 8 End. Visual a slow montage of crowds waving flags, sun rising over the Sahel. Narrator, 26 assassination attempts, 7 years of war. One man who turned fear into freedom. His story is not over because the idea he represents can never die. Every time a child in Africa learns to stand tall, Traoré copyright S spirit lives again. Every time a nation refuses to be silenced, his heartbeat echoes through the continent.